No, but it's taking him out.
You might have to move your thing in.
How about let's just do this and go a little closer. Let's get a little closer. How's that?
I like low.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're
Just go down here.
yeah we're live right now. We got
Hey, friends.
hey, I hope you're sticking with us while we're trying to get our camera angles and everything figured out. Baby shark do. Yeah, thanks, Christopher.
Yeah.
Christopher Aida.
I think
Hey, if we could get some feedback here, we're trying something new with our camera setup and our mics and all this good stuff because we want to get these two gentlemen here into the conversation.
And just as importantly, it's nice to be able to, kind of bring people into what we normally do, which is around this couch here.
Yeah.
And working in the background. So we want you guys to be able to see that.
Right.
Well, I'm concerned about the echo. Is there any echo?
I don't think so. Let me see.
He's got the headphones.
Cool.
So he can.
Yeah,
Everybody,
I got it.
We good?
Oh, it sounds good.
Okay, perfect.
How's everybody feeling out
Hello,
there?
friends.
Hello, friends. What's everybody go with the audio? The videos obviously looks like it's much better than last week.
A bit echoey. Why is it? I don't know how it's echoing because we don't have anything. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Sorry about that, y'all. So we have some echo. I get it. I don't know. I appreciate you telling us, but I'm not sure where the echo would be coming from.
Good question.
Do we have to mute monitor maybe?
We're muted. We're all muted. Hey, Doug from Ireland, how do we do that sound? That's all right. We're not doing a podcast over here or anything.
Trust me.
So if you wondered what that was, that would actually be the David working on the giant 20-foot V17, messing around with the spar and
The progress is going great on
Yeah,
that.
but he was just like quiet there until we started. Now he figures he has to make noise.
Yeah, David's working hard so we can do this right now.
David works hard so we can play. Is that what you're saying?
Well, and for this next hour, yes.
All right, cool.
So,
That works.
but no, it's going along really good. As a matter of fact, what you just heard was the test fitting of the spar on the elevator. This is going to be going to fiberglass as early as tomorrow. So we're going to be starting fiberglass this.
That's going to happen at PI?
Yeah, Pilot Institute. I think we have some cold weather still coming, so we're going to start the fiberglass in here, and then we're going to move it to PI as soon as the weather next week is warm. So it'll be easily a full week project going on, but it's just awesome. And that means that the first flight's not far from us. And huge shout out to Scorpion. We got our motors in this week.
They're huge.
They are huge.
They're huge.
They're beefy. They're huge. And I don't some around here.
How heavy those things were.
They're
I know. They're like, I can't. Where are they?
the power. It's crazy.
It's insanity. And the amount of power, we're using them on a smaller prop than actually you can use.
Yeah,
Correct.
If we were to push these to 100%, we could have. We're anticipating the B-17 being around 80 pounds.
Okay.
I think it's an
Oh, look at that.
lighter. These at full throttle each produce 44 pounds of thrust.
44.
So that means two motors could effectively hover this airplane.
Those
We're gonna have
things are
four of them. So
So with 4 of them on there.
with four of them on there, we're gonna have two to one thrust.
Okay, so how much weight can that lift?
Well, I think each one of these puts out 44 pounds of thrust.
Like I know I understand that, but like so for a guy that doesn't know how that works.
A lot of people think if they have a 50-pound plane, they need 50 pounds of thrust to fly it. No, it's all dependent on how you want your plane to fly. If it's a motor glider, you can get away with 25% to one. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Typically, the rule of thumb, I believe, is 50. If it's like a trainer, it's 50 watts per pound. If it's a pattern or just a aerobatic airplane, it's 100 watts per pound. And if it's 3D, I think it's 150 watts per pound. Is like a rule of thumb. We're blowing all that out of the water. This thing's going to be cruising around probably at quarter throttle.
That's awesome.
And we'll have to really be careful to manage it. But we do have it propped way down, which means we'll get a lot of efficiency. So that also means we'll have resolution. We don't want to have like 2 clicks of throttle to basically fly the airplane. We want some resolution. So It'll be efficient. It'll be powerful still. And at the same time, should have some decent flight times.
Yeah, that's great. That's going to be sick.
As far as batteries go, we have in there, we have a 10,000 two 6-cell 10,000 milliamp tattoo batteries series together to make 12-cell. Each motor is going to have 10,000 milliamps, but they sit right in the wing between the two spars. And it is the first time I've ever been excited about a battery bay. So,
That's awesome.
Good stuff.
That is fantastic.
So let me ask you this. So do you have to, I can't do this with that. So with that, with all of that thrust and everything, how much weight can it lift?
Where's Mike?
Yeah.
I think with this kind of thrust, you're talking it's like ultralight power at this point, So,
Okay.
no, I think you could easily lift 50 pounds.
50 pounds.
Are we going to lift 50 pounds? No. But there may be a watermelon in our future.
Maybe. So
So
maybe we don't let that one up. No, you guys keep
Try
talking.
to
We're
echo. Okay.
just trying to figure out.
Yeah, I
we'll
was
explain
thinking
it as we
something
go.
on my-
Well, let's shift gear because we're talking about huge planes, but let's talk about something else that is absolutely humongous, and that is John Overstreet's new F-18.
I thought you were going to say John Overstreet.
No.
Well, I'll tell you what, the way I've been eating, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That burger you had
What are you
allowed
guys-
the other
What are you
day.
doing to me?
What do you do when friends get together? You eat food. And
Yeah.
we're good friends, so we eat lots of food. It's great.
Peer pressure's awful around here. It's like, why don't you get the double?
Yeah, there it is.
Gosh,
Yeah, you say yes.
kill me.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll start our exercise next week.
Yeah.
But
Michael will be your personal trainer.
He would be brutal as a trainer.
That's right. That'd be hilarious.
But John, you just finished off the F-18. By the way, if people don't know who this gentleman is to my right, he is not only a dear friend.
They've been living under a rock if they don't know who John is.
If you ever wondered where these beautiful Master Series airplanes came from, this is a gentleman who breathed the vision, the techniques, and all the models into reality. That's John Overstreet, and he's also the head of Flight Test Midwest. And recently, you finished your F-18.
Yes.
How many years have you been working on this thing?
Oh, goodness. 2 years. Always got one that I like the way it flew. I just never really liked the way it looked. So I kind of went back to the drawing boards a couple months ago.
That's right.
You find that after
You're getting all set now.
I'm trying to.
poorly. I think every time I came down to visit you in Missouri, it was, this is the F-18. This is the one. It flies beautiful. And from the very first one to this one, they've all flown good, but you're really frustrated about the key details of scale or assembly, right?
Yeah. It's like 2 or 3 months ago, I'm like, okay, I'm done. So back to the drawing boards. The first one I put together, I think I tried to put together 6 or 7 times and didn't like the way it went together. But when it comes to these kits, you only have to get it right once.
Yes.
The files are set in stone after that, and we finally got something we could work with. And so finally got one put up in the air.
I noticed the common thread. Every time you built a new one, it got a little bit bigger too.
Maybe.
This kit comes in a 20-inch by 30-inch by 4-inch box.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of foam. I would say it's a tree of foam, but foam doesn't come from trees. But,
Well, the paper does.
yeah, there you go. Perfect.
There you
It
go.
is.
I got you.
If you're ever wondering about a lot of foam, this kit is the embodiment of it. I think it is actually. Is it more? It's more than the ME262 by 2 sheets, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So 5.5 feet long, 48 inches wide. It is huge.
Now, twin EDF. And what EDF's going to take?
70 millimeter is what it's been designed for. But I've had the last couple of days, I've had a ton of people want to know if they can put an 80 millimeter in there. A bunch of people want to know if they can do a 64. Yeah.
But why is it that every time that you guys design planes, and let me get up on soapbox here for a second. Why is it every time that you guys design planes and spend hours and hours, months on these planes, and then everybody no one wants to take your recommendations, and they just want to make it bigger, faster, better, and
well,
why is that?
actually, in all fairness, in this case, I think a lot of people have just smashed up an existing EDF plane. They're like,
that's all I got.
I've got a couple of 64 millimeter EDFs laying around, or 80 millimeter, or 90. Yeah, did you make that with 90?
Well, here's the reason why. It's flight test. You don't take something that exists and not tweak it and make it your own. I think
How does that make you guys feel?
Something to celebrate. I mean, let's go back to this. We got to see
Ben, he's talking to you
I'm talking
now.
about you, Ben. Which camera do I look at, by the way?
It doesn't matter. This one here is probably better.
Ben, I'm talking about you.
Love you.
Would we ever know that a EDF Flurkin would even be a possible reality out of Ben? No.
No.
How many community members that's awesome, but I'm inspired to go this way? So does it offend us? No, it's an honor to see it become a reality. As long as at the end of the day, if it doesn't work well, you don't go online and say, I don't like the airplane because it doesn't fly well.
Right.
You know, we're all open for things, but try, experiment, fail, communicate your successes, communicate your failures, and have a lot of fun. And I think this every team. Well, I'm kit bashing it right now, Lee. What am I doing? I'm doing an evil thing to it.
I'm just telling you. I just think it's funny. No, I love the fact that people do that and share it.
Well, I'm hoping. I'm glad somebody brought up this early in the game. Can I put a 64 millimeter in, or can I put an 80 millimeter in? Because when I get back Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to draw up some thrust tubes for either for the 64, the 80. And why not? Let's just do a 90 also. But we can just put those up as PDFs. So if somebody has those motors laying around, they can print that PDF. They can go buy some sort of, I don't know, what kind of paper?
It's poster board.
Poster board, yeah. So they can just print out on poster board.
Yeah, I think honestly a 3D printed thrust tube on your planes would be amazing because it would be smooth. And I think there's a science to how the thrust tubes have like a crazy, like almost a bell. It doesn't just go in a straight cone. It kind of goes forward and then kind of curls down, right?
I'm not that smart. I just do it because.
We'll just draw it in 3D print. You know?
Okay.
But
you heard it here first.
and here's the thing, Jesse, we just flew the F-18s today. And the neatest thing about that was Jesse was programming my radio to let the plane be flown off of one motor. And that's because it can fly off of 170 millimeter.
Yeah, it does great on one.
So you were only flying with one motor?
No, I was flying with two the whole time.
Oh,
yeah, I
both were
today. We both were, yeah.
But yeah, we'd had plenty of flights where we just get it up there and he'll kill one motor and just cruise around.
That's not when he put it in the tree. That was F-16, right?
Man, there's been so many that have been put in
so
the
many
trees.
trees, so many planes.
That was F-16, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, as far as flight times and everything goes, as big as this is, you will not find an airplane that's EDF like this that is as light. It's incredible. You know, foam board, you would not know it's foam board, but the way it flies, you know, sometimes you see jets and they kind of waddle or they're doing 120 miles an hour and they're flying straight and level.
Yeah.
This source, both Jesse and myself missed the runway because we underestimated how much it glides.
Yeah.
And
that was nice.
flying, I was like 45% power and easily able to maintain altitude, if not climb a little bit. So it's ridiculously efficient. What's the flight times?
Oh, of course, it's going to depend on how big of a battery we shove in there. Because, I mean, sometimes we're at 4,000, a little over 6,000 on the 6S batteries. I mean, we've got 6 and 7 minute flights. And just really, usually with Jesse flying, usually the flight time's in half.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Do you have a lead foot?
So here's a quick note on that
Gun.
as well. Ben Harbour made mention that 3D printed thrust tubes and nozzles sound like a great idea. It's really hard to beat the paper for weight when you're pushing air. What about the 3D print material, the lightweight?
You guys got some lightweight stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff's awesome.
I think that'd do great.
That'd probably be at least in between the two, right? In terms of PLA and paper.
And I think where paper has an edge on 3D printed is it can handle vibration. Sometimes some EDFs get a little bit, a little shaky. And with that being 3D printed, I could see where it would end up breaking. I was looking at the flashing light. What's that mean?
That means it's muted.
Oh, really?
Why'd you mute your...
I didn't touch it.
Let's see. Can you hear me better now, friends?
Yeah, they should be able to.
Okay. Maybe that's where it's echoing.
Well, maybe it's better now because it was on mute.
I don't know, but I mean, you can hardly hear his voice. So.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Well, I'm very soft spoken.
I'm very soft.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I think we should definitely at least look into it.
Give a shot. And yeah, Ben definitely knows a lot about the thrust tubes and stuff.
Yes.
So with that.
Awesome.
Now, when people explain to people what Master Series is and what SkyFX is.
Yeah.
Okay, so Master Series are just that they just describe the airframes and the style and methods and that we use to put planes together. SkyFX, I think, kind of started out, at least in our minds, we were kind of thinking, okay, anything that we print. So if we send out an airframe that's been printed, that's going to be SkyFX. But soon we kind of realized it's like, well, the level of detail Stephen is putting into the decal sets is extraordinary. And so we kind of broadened SkyFX to not only the printed aircraft, but also these decal sets. And I don't know, this is the first time we've offered the decal sets, and they flew off the shelves this
Yeah,
weekend. It was
they did really good.
incredible. So I'm really excited about the response, and with that response, we need to go back and look at the F-16, first, and then maybe look at some of the other aircraft.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
we
these
seem to do
But we're
really
going to
well.
live in the F-18 for a while, though.
Okay, we'll live in the F-18
Yeah.
for a while.
You heard it here first.
So Master Series, we always say it molds together, where the planes I designed fold together, swappable series fold together, Master Series mold together, and they just give a beautiful curve finish. But I love it. All people need to do is, with this F-18 specifically, is they buy it, they build it, they paint it, and then from that point on, the Sky FX liveries that you guys have to offer. And there's the Dam Busters, Puking Dog.
We haven't done that one yet. We've done Dam Busters, Tomcatter.
Okay.
Why am I drawing a blank?
Shadowhawks.
We didn't do that. Why am I drawing a blank?
I'll just look it up.
Look it up. Hey, so while he's looking up, so we got a dude on here.
Jolly Rogers.
Jolly Rogers, yeah.
How did I forget that?
So Jason says, speaking of the decals, the ones on the F-18 seemed overpriced to me. So some feedback here. What do we think?
Yeah, well, Cali Graphics, a lot of people are familiar with Cali Graphics, and if you look at the decal sheets and the size of the decal sheets, they're 24 to 30 inches. They're 18 to 20 inches tall, and they're anywhere from $35. If you look at our decal sheets, they are 30 inches by 20 inches. You're going to get 2 sheets that size. Plus, you're going to get a clear sheet. There's 2 different types of decal material that we're going to use. Okay, we want this to be a good experience for people, and so we experimented with a couple different types of decal material. So we use a clear vinyl, and it's really thin. It's got an extremely aggressive adhesive. When you touch that to an aircraft, it's stuck. It's stuck there for good. Well, we tried to do that with, say, a larger one. Well, once you dropped it in place, it was, if you had to shift it, when you peel it off, you'd be peeling away all the paint. It was terrible.
All the things.
Yeah, and it would have been a horrible experience for people. So we looked at a low tack, something that you could drop on there, and then if you need to pull it up, you could reapply it. Now one of the disadvantages there is, you may have some edges that curl up. Incredibly easy to apply. So you got to make sure, in order for it to stick, you've got to prep it. So, once you spray paint it, hit it with alcohol. Once you hit it with alcohol, those things will stick great. And if they don't, you just take a hair dryer, hit the curled up edges, and they lay right back down. It remelts that adhesive. So there was a lot of stuff that went into that. So
yeah, and the neat thing is you're able to get different liveries, but at the end of the day, for a plane that size, this is matched exactly to what the A10 that I designed with, which is the same sheet count. And there's a lot of foam in there, so they don't have to put the decals. It's not like they have to buy the decal kit. They can cut out their own. They can paint it. They can do many different options for it.
And the base aircraft comes with a decal sheet, because there's a lot of people that they have their own vinyl cutters and stuff like that, and it comes with the canopy and then the exhaust straps, stars and bars. So it's definitely just an option, not for everybody.
Yeah. And Ben Harvey says, just commenting to Jason, saying that wait till you see them in person. They're huge. It's also a huge bird, right? So a full decal set for about $50 is a great deal and a great option, which makes a ton of sense. Not only all the work that goes into making it, but
so this is the
essentially what you get.
Yeah. So this is just a basic one.
one that comes with it.
Yeah. This is,
that thing's thick.
Yeah, it's a real heavy duty stuff. So this is big. So that comes with it. So canopy, exhaust straps, stars and bars, and did we put anything else on there?
QR code.
Oh, look there, we got a little Flight Test logo. You can.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, and oftentimes with flight test planes, like the price brackets are all different. But what we try to do is we try to take the experience that you have and make it far more affordable within that category. This plane is easily the size of what you'd see with Motion RC, one of their jets.
$500 airplane.
Yeah, does it have retracts? No. Does it have nav lights? No. You could put them on. Does it have all the bells and whistles? No. But what it does have is insane performance and an incredibly wide envelope. But that size of an airplane, you'd easily have $600+ into. This is, when it's all said and done, still about half that price. So, you know, that's kind of the benefit. It's still an economical way to get into a class EDF that size. And also, my favorite thing about all flight test planes and foam board in general is it brings a flight characteristics and a envelope where you can slow these down. You can walk out into a baseball field with this. And it has the ability to cut and curl and stay in the air in a very small area. But yet you can open it up and have really respectable speed too. So that's kind of cool. It's hard to kind of wedge it into a category and say this will compete with this when it really stands on its own.
Yep, true statement.
Yeah, and Jason, thanks for even just saying that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not we're not looking at you and
we're looking for feedback.
Well, yeah, and he
Yeah.
said
Oh,
he cuts
yeah.
his own vinyl, so that's why the price point from his angle
Right.
is a little
Mhm.
larger than some who just don't have the ability to cut their own
Yeah.
vinyl.
And we'll be doing some different price points. In fact, you mentioned the puking dogs. It'll be substantially less than the others because I mean it just comes on. I think Steven said it was just one sheet. I saw an early draft of it, but it'll be
Nice.
considerably less.
That's cool too, because then you've got the different tiers that you want to pay 25, 35, you want to pay 40, you want to pay 60. Like
Mhm.
we have like the full gambit, which is super nifty.
It'll be cool to see which livery is the most popular.
I know.
I like that. And that they can do different ones is really cool. So we're having a fun time this last week, Saturday. You guys are going to be seeing the video, I believe. Is it this Friday or Saturday?
This Saturday.
Cool.
Yep.
We got to build and fly our first Scout XL. And if you guys aren't aware, at Flight Fest, there is going to be something called Dawn Patrol for people to participate in. And that's World War I aircraft. Is it 1,300 millimeter? Roughly 60 inches. 60-inch aircraft, that are going to be flying in a gaggle. What Dan Sponholz did for us is he took the Scout, he increased the size by 155%, and then we put out the free plans for it. So Dan, thank you so much for drawing that up. And that way people that wanted to participate but didn't necessarily have the ability to design an aircraft had something they could fly, so they can still do it. We love that size so much. We went ahead and paired it up with our 2814 motor, and we're making a speedboat kit of that. And this last week, we did the test flight, but also for the B-17, we wanted to test out the laser tag and the special effects board, which means pyrotechnics.
Yeah, the FPV combat
Module.
that cool stuff.
And
yeah, it was
it's an explosive experience.
it was an exactly.
It's a memory, and I cannot tell you guys how much excitement I have for when this B-17 is done. The previous laser tag experience was incredible, but what we didn't have is like an on-screen display showing you whether you hit the person, whether you've been hit, how many lives you had left, how much ammo you had. Having all those features, especially with a little kind of target, what's it called?
Target
Crosshair.
Crosshairs. I'm losing words today. Without having those crosshairs in there and stuff, and be able to hit the button and see it shoot, the accuracy of this thing and the experience was like nothing else.
Yeah.
And frankly, the Scout XL, I think to me that is the plane to put it on at this moment. We did the first test with the Fokker D7. It was incredible. The only difference I would do was I put the camera where you could see a little bit more because it was really scale. You basically had tunnel vision, but you couldn't look to your left or right. So spotting an airplane was hard. But the Scout XL, you had the full scheme. And when Dave and I were flying against each other, you could see each other. You could line up and you could shoot them. And you could see the plane actually getting hit. And the way the special effects board worked was you could program it after 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. Depending on how you program it, it can hit smoke. And then after it hits smoke, then it can hit the fireworks that destroys the plane. And the smoke system didn't work because our little igniters, it was a hard thing to do. But the mortar rounds inside worked beautifully. And this is an episode for you guys to watch this Friday because just how immersive it was. And what I want you to picture is when the B-17's around, there's going to be community members in the turrets, FPV, shooting at your FW-190 and your BF-109 that are going to be attacking the B-17. And as the B-17 gets hit, it's going to be smoking the engines one at a time. And that's going to be cool. So
It's gonna be amazing.
Keep an eye out for that episode. It was probably one of the most rewarding flight experiences we've had. And it's also very repeatable thanks to FPV Combat.
Yeah, Mateo, he's done a fantastic job.
Yeah. He's an
also-
innovator.
Yeah, he's an innovator. He's also a great community member. And he's been, watching flight tests and enjoying the flight test content for many years.
Yes.
So just cool to see different community members pop up and give of their talents and times, and it's pretty amazing to see our community, what they have out there. It's nifty.
The talent again. We're not here to be flight test and be the best of the best. You guys are the best of the best. We get to be part of that family, and it's humbling when the community takes something that we're doing and like, oh my gosh, I can do that, and I can improve on it, and I can make that experience better, or I can develop this from it. We want to champion that. We want to celebrate that, and I love this chapter of flight test, how we're able to do that in our content even easier. We got to work with what was the gentleman with the smoke system?
Carlos.
Carlos.
From Cuba. I can't say his last name. I don't know.
Yeah, Carlos with a name that we can't pronounce for the last part. But it was incredible. And I love the fact that they like, okay, I want to make a smoke system. I want to do this. And then we can feature it. And then I have no doubt Carlos is getting tons of help now making that a reality. And when there's something that's one step further, we can revisit that.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing with FPV combat.
Speaking of community members, one of our community members here has a question for Mr. Overstreet. Talking about planes and everything.
Dr. Looping Louie.
Looping Louie. How many iterations does it take until all the fuselage parts mold together well? And what does your workflow look like?
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
That's like how many licks does it take to get to the 7?
Yeah.
I mean, that is.
I mean, like sometimes one, but I mean, sometimes like this F-18, 100.
What do you call it? You call it the Angry Beaver.
Yeah, I've got this scanner. This scanner, I'm about to wear it out. It's not even that old, and I don't know, bring parts together, and when it doesn't fit, I just over there with an X-Acto knife, just cutting and making it fit, and then I pull it. What I'll do is I'll pull the paper off. I'll leave the foam there, but I'll pull the paper off. I'll drop it on the scanner, and then I'll go back and I'll make the changes, and then cut out another part, and then see if that one fits better. And it's, I guess, like making sausage. I mean, it is
Like trial and error.
it's a horrible, ugly process. But at the end of the day, you know, you get to kind of control the fit, and you know, sometimes it goes really fast, and you know, sometimes it is just like I'm never going to get this. This is.
You have
I
a
hate
background in
myself.
metalwork too,
Yeah.
which gives you a
Yeah.
really good, you know.
Yeah.
That's funny. So Dwight Sauter just said, "Is John still doing sheet metal working, or has this changed your career path?"
You know what? Somebody asked me, is like, "Do you ever do any metal work?" I'm like, "Metal? Metal what? I don't. I'm so old. I don't. I barely remember doing it these days. Yeah, I have no time anymore. I'd like to revisit it one day, but
I'm not going to let you forget about this. We are going to make a metal or aluminum Corsair fly. Remember we talked about that, taking your Master
Yes.
Series and then plasma cutting it?
yes.
That would be awesome.
Well, somebody asked me the other day. This was kind of interesting. It came through tech support, and I think it had your name on it, and my name on it, or it went to you first, and then you send it over to me. But somebody's like, "So, he goes, my laser can cut really thin aluminum. You know, which plane can I make?" I'm like, honestly, any flight test airplane could easily be made out of metal. The only thing you're going to have to do is, you're going to follow the patterns and cut the skins out. You're just simply going to need to add an offset to the former. The former is going to have to be just a little bit bigger around, about the thickness of a piece of foam. And, once you have that framework, you can just cover it with thin metal. So I don't know if he's listening, but man, if he builds that plane, I want to see it.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do that, but
Yeah.
man, I got a list a mile long things I got to do. Actually, I don't have a list a mile long because I don't get to make anything else for a while,
That's
right?
right.
Come
You're
on,
back.
Doc.
You're back to metalworking right now.
No,
Living
no,
the
no.
F-18. Well,
No.
do you have the ground plane yet?
Hey, hush up. So, shifting gears a little bit, we were talking about the XL Scout.
Yeah.
John Rusher, OHIO, go Buckeyes. He's our Michigan, that state up there fan. When will the Scout XL kit be available to purchase?
Okay, we're planning the end of this month.
Yep.
That is
Ooh.
the plan. And so we're going to do either supplemental videos or just basically a new fuselage video. The wing is virtually identical.
Sweet.
But the fuselage has a turtle deck. And by the way, Dan and the beta builders, whoever helped with the turtle deck, thank you 1,000 times, because I hate what he has to do with the whole plane. I cringe when I have to do over a turtle deck that's this long in 3 pieces.
And no poster board.
and no poster board. There's not a stitch of poster board on this plane. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to redo the whole build video for the fuselage.
Yeah, I think that'd be a
And
good
then let
idea.
the wing be the same. By that time, it may just be like, let's just do the wing too. But
Yeah.
end of this month, we're planning on having that out. It's going to couple with the 2814, and then we use two 2200 3-cell batteries. What I did do different, I think, from Dan's plans is I made the power pod actually have a C-fold on the top, so it doubles the wall thickness, and then I also did a double set of doublers in there, so
More A doublers.
more A doublers. I said this time to make sure I don't forget the A doublers.
Oh,
I seamed them with the C-fold on the bottom, so you have this piece, you do a C-fold, and then that goes on one side. You do have another piece, do a C-fold, that goes on the other side, and that gives you, on the nose, 2 sections of foam before the pod slides in, and you still have that support on the bottom. It gives us nose weight where we need nose weight. It gives us rigidity, and also the landing gear is not going to be foam wrapped over a wire. It's going to be 3 layers of wood. The center wood is going to have a cavity for the landing gear, and then it comes up and then bends down, and it worked fantastic.
That's great.
So, but
They
please.
look great, and they look like they fly fantastic.
The one weird thing, do you notice when I went to land, the lady goes like, boing, boing. boing. I think because of all the extra weight on there, but we'll have to do it. I think I'm going to shorten that up or play with it a little bit.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, end of this month, and it's an 8-sheeter. So it is not a small plane,
Yeah.
58 or 59-inch wingspan. But even with probably easily 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds of weight, do you think we had
Oh,
between the
yeah.
fireworks
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything?
Yeah.
It flew on a 3-cell, half throttle. So it is a slow dream to fly.
It's a gentle
It
giant.
flew
It really is.
beautifully.
It's going to be. Do you guys just sit back and think about what's going to happen at this year's Flight Fest?
Oh,
How
my.
incredible it's going to be.
I don't even, I mean, not even this year's Flight Fest. Wings Over Edgewater is going to be
my
amazing.
goodness. Yeah, Wings Over Edgewater, Memorial Day. That's when the full B-17 with the laser tag. We're hoping to shoot that episode at that event.
Yeah.
And I'm just praying the weather's good because we'll have I believe Jason McQuiston's 18-foot C-47.
I think so. Is Ben coming up for?
Ben, are you coming? I don't think Ben's coming up. He's listening.
Flight Fest.
I think he's coming to Flight
Yes.
Fest.
All right.
And Josh Orchard, I believe, is coming to Memorial Day, right?
Yeah, he's coming.
Jay Orch.
So it's going to be an event, but
It'd be fun. I mean, letting everybody shoot at.
yeah. We call
I mean,
it the year of the Flurkin, but I think it's going to be the year of the monsters with a lot of Flurkins.
Yeah, we're gonna have a monster Flurkin though too.
We need to have a monster Flurkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Hey, just for the record, I'm gonna get this on here. Sponzi said
Yeah.
that you guys definitely handicapped Lee with the limited ammo and the bricks in front of his turret.
Yeah.
And what are you talking about,
You're welcome
David?
to
You
believe
lost it. You lost to him too.
I lost fair and squarely.
Oh, that's not what you said.
I'm not lying.
Oh, that's not what you said. Butt kisser.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
There's,
money.
there's a backstory we'll tell you in a few weeks, but we're not going to ruin it for you now. You know what? I think what all this means is we get a rematch, and you get to vindicate yourself,
Okay.
and that'll be okay. What do you guys think about this?
I don't know.
What if we make some really cool foam board like anti-artillery guns
Oh,
where
yeah.
people can? Do you remember when we were trying the early days when Painter Ewing from Tritium Studios, we were testing out his laser tag system,
Yeah.
which, by the way, was awesome. But we landed the one plane, we picked it up like a bazooka,
Yes.
and we shot down the other airplane from the ground.
Well, that'd be cool.
Imagine if we took Mateo's laser tag systems, and then we gave people like an anti-aircraft artillery. So we had to shoot a target while they were shooting. So that way you don't have to worry about a turret. You get to go back to old school.
Okay.
And
I'm
That's a great voice. I want to hear that.
We gotta get the recoil in there though.
all I say is no bricks,
No.
no port placement, no excuses.
You know what? I like where you're headed.
I like
And no
it.
limited ammo.
And unlimited ammo. There you
We
go.
can just
Looks
put
like-
one of the infrared sensors right on his goggles.
There you go.
Ben
Nice.
says he'll be at Flight Fest and not Wings Over Edgewater.
Well,
Oh, okay.
hats off. If you guys haven't seen Ben Harbor's flight of his 20-foot C-47,
Which will be at Flight Fest.
which will be at Flight Fest.
Oh, nice.
Check out his YouTube channel of his maiden flight. It is incredible, and I'm excited because I got to see what I think Ben wasn't his 80 pounds.
I don't know, actually. I actually never got to that deep of that specific airplane.
I got to see a big heavy airplane of that size fly, and it looked magical. So yeah, check out his site. And that was your C-47 design, right?
Mhm. Yeah, we just blew it up.
Love it.
Nice.
Blew it up. He blew it up. That's how we roll.
That's how we're all right. So Johan, our boy in South Africa, he says unbelievable work, sir. He's talking to Mr. John here.
Well, thank you.
What software do you use to do your designs?
Trade secret.
Trade
secret. No.
Sorry.
99. No, not 99. 90% of it is Adobe Illustrator. Most everything gets drawn up there, and then I do have a little other help, but trade secret. Certain things got to be.
Yeah,
You
no,
gotta
that's good.
keep under, keep
Yeah.
under wraps things.
Yeah.
How it works.
Johan, maybe in the future we'll talk more.
Yeah, and the neat thing is
Twist.
the Angry Beaver technique that he does. There's some unique features or benefits you get from that. It's a pain. You can't just go to a computer and design it. But when you think about a laser cutting through the foam, it creates an undercut. That undercut, and if you ever build in John's planes, you'll notice the shingle so beautifully. You cannot get that shingling without having to have the discipline to go piece by piece by piece by piece. And that's really a big deal. So a lot of people design it in 3D software, but what you'll ultimately end up with a lot of times is when you go to manufacture it, the piece of it is cut up like this, not shingle. And then
And the sizing of parts as they go forward, they
Yeah.
do steadily increase, and it's because of the undercut. And a lot of times, when people go to, like on the older Master Series aircraft, when they go to cut them out, they don't go together. And it's, if they were laser cut, you'll see that they do go together good, because once they do butt up, and they don't have that undercut, they don't shingle correctly, and so they, as far as like the stacking goes, it does get a little bit.
yeah.
Sightseeing.
Well,
Okay,
that's
so the trade secret, I kind of wave a chicken over stuff, and I pray.
Dead chickens
you
there.
get
Hey,
it.
yeah, okay. Truth be told, yeah.
No, but that's one reason too why we talked about when the whole, why is it different for everyone in your designs? You'd be cutting a lot and have a lot of frustration and not look good with it, because it's designed specifically for being laser cut, and you just can't get that precision as nicely without a laser.
So Rice Davis, Reese.
Davis.
Why is it Reese? Why is it Rice?
I have a friend that has the exact same spelling.
Reese? Oh, Reese. Okay. He said he checked this morning to see the Flight Fest 22 is up. Is there going to be an official announcement made soon? There's been many announcements, bro. Hey, sorry you hadn't seen any of them.
But we're happy to see you now.
Yeah, happy to see you now. So
Yes.
Tell your
here's
friends.
it. Tell your friends.
Family.
Friends, family, friendly, whatever. Hey, while we've got a second here, we need to announce the winner of our drawing of the giveaway, which we had. Was giving away one of John's P40s pre-built
With electronics.
with electronics.
Did they say which one they picked yet, or?
Well, I got the name. It doesn't say which. I think we're going to get in contact with
All right.
them and see which one.
You announce the name now?
Yes. It's Dennis Gadzik.
Dennis! I think Dennis is listening right now.
Dennis Gadzik. So if you know Dennis Gadzik, well, we'll be contacting him. He's from Florida.
Congrats, Dennis.
Yes. So
Standing ovation.
Dennis is the man.
I like
Dennis
this.
is Dennis.
This is one of we haven't done a giveaway in a long time.
No, this is
And
one of the first in
This
a
is one of
while.
the coolest.
Yeah.
And John, you built that plane, right?
That's right. So yeah, Dennis is going to have to get a hold of me. Let me know, because there's 10 of them to pick from. So I had 10 prototypes. Now they are almost perfect. We made a couple little changes here and there, so you might get to see some of the early imperfections, but
That gives it
they do look
Okay,
good.
that's great.
Definitely.
Nah,
They
you
look.
can't beat a
Oh, they're awesome.
hand-built, electronic-filled, printed airplane.
That's
Can you
right.
I can't. I'll trip over
We
something.
got
Can you
one.
grab a P40 real quick?
This one might have got a little hanger rash. It was we had
Well,
a
sorry,
pretty
Dennis. You can't pick this one because I claimed it. So
Is that the Arizona?
Arizona.
yeah.
So yeah, if you pick this one, I'll just build you another one.
You can't paint that.
No, you cannot do
You can't
this.
make the paint look like that.
So this is cool because also, if you guys don't know, there's also STLs John includes to give the details like this landing gear bay, and also there's another one if you're not doing the landing gear, it's the belly sides, right? So I don't know which camera pitches.
That one's best
Yeah,
for you.
look at this. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
It doesn't even look like foam board.
No, it
It
doesn't.
doesn't even know it's a fog.
So
You got to make machine gun sounds. Yeah, I mean, you can't just fly it around without machine gun sound. That's
All right, our friend Christopher Aida.
hi, Chris.
Please do a Wings Over Edgewater specific podcast soon, so I know what to bring. All right, so here's the deal. We probably not gonna do that, but if you go to edgewaterairpark.com, there's a bunch of details on there that you can figure out what to bring from there. There's a schedule of events. It talks about a breakdown of each of them, what they're what they're called and when we're doing it. So that's your best bet there.
Yep. If you click on the calendar and then more info, right? Lee just showed me today this.
Yep.
You'll see the full breakdown of
Yep.
the schedule. And one thing a lot of people ask, and Jason was really animate that we make sure we communicate. Although we're going to be having all the warbird activities going on, we're going to be running both runways, which means the fun flying is not going to really stop. So don't feel like, oh, I don't have a warbird, I can't come and be part of this. We don't play that game. We want you to come out here. We want you to fly. You're going to be able to see a lot of great warbirds. If you don't have a warbird, or maybe you're a beginner and you want to fly, this is a place to go. You don't have to worry about the culture or people giving you a hard time. I remember when I was a young kid, I had a ton of airplanes. There was a big plane flying. I didn't have a plane that met the criteria, which meant I wasn't allowed to fly at the event. So what I got to do was I got to go and watch about 25 people have fun.
Nah.
I'm going to just say it. That's stupid.
That's
I'm sorry. It's not flight. I don't want to say it's stupid. I apologize for that because people have their own definition of fun. But as a kid that wanted to fly and be part of that experience, I couldn't have it. And a lot of that is why we do what we do today. So we're going to make sure with our events that even if it's themed over something, doesn't mean you can't come and partake no matter what your skill set is or what you bring to fly. And if there is any downtime for like maybe the B-17, it's going to be so everyone can enjoy that moment, be part of that moment, and then we get everyone back to the year as quick as possible.
true.
Sorry, I shouldn't call this.
Oh, you're good.
Kind of,
So Mark here has asked, have you got a price yet for the Scout XL for the speedboat kit?
Yes, but it's a secret.
Ooh, secrets are no fun. Should share them
depends
with
on what inflation does to our phone board.
Right.
Oh my golly.
inflation.
It's tied to oil price. Just do the math.
You said a semi truck deliver a whole truckload of foam.
Yeah.
The delivery price, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The shipping rates are just going through the roof, out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Seems to be crazy.
Yeah. Same thing with our Freedom Foxes. I was just talking. It's like we can't bring the Freedom Foxes over because a container is too expensive.
Yeah.
And it's not worth raising the price on the plane. So, but yeah, we'll have prices. It will be a great price. But we don't know what it'll be until we start making it.
We'll keep you posted.
Yeah, but you'll love it. You'll love it. And I think what we should also do is include the wheels in there as well too, because the Scout without the wheels is just kind of.
It's less scoutish.
It-
I'm just gonna put it out there.
I mean, it's fun to take them off and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You're the boss.
I'm the boss. I want to include the wheels. What little price?
It depends on what it's getting cost.
Yeah.
Wheels are
You know
now
what?
$40.
$1 billion.
No, you know what we should seriously do though. But what would be awesome on the Scout and help with the bounciness? We should have Dave draw up the classic Trexler style wheels for Verisure.
Yes.
Okay, I feel like this is pitchy, but there's a
Anything
material
very true is awesome.
called Verisure. It's a 3D print rubber, and that's what we did our B-17 wheels out, the Medley wheels, Jason's C-47 wheels. I mean, it's makes the most perfect squishy wheels. They're not like bouncy like a bouncy ball. They're just like Trexlers. That could be a really cool.
Well, he had to
solution.
go show me that was 3D print. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah, with
Right?
the treads.
Yeah, I
yeah.
was like, there is no way that that's 3D printed. I was like, but that's
Yeah.
made out of rubber.
Yeah.
You gotta know.
Yeah. But
She was like, I said, this is.
the
how's this
4-inch
possible?
wheels will be the option.
Yeah,
right?
the 4-inch wheels will be the option. But what we could do is, if people don't want the wheels, we could also just have a 3D printed file
Right. And
where they could get some Verisure and they could print their wheels.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be building some old timers. I love old timers, and Jason's got me totally stoked about slow flying big airplanes.
I'm not. This is me talking out my face here.
I'm glad you're talking
Off the top of my head. But what if? I mean,
Isn't that
could we
crazy?
even look at doing it? Yeah, it's so cool. Could we even look at doing like if you buy the Scout and the XL, where you get like a percentage off of the Verisure, something like that, to print those. I don't know if that's even possible.
Well, I think one roll of Verisure will do like tons and tons and tons
thousands
of
of wheels.
So,
Yes,
but,
that's fair.
it's already good value. But that may be an option because those old timers and stuff. I mean, the squishier the wheels, the better the landings.
Yes,
And that Verisure is
Take it.
awesome.
I want that to be a thing.
Yeah.
At least we have to at least try.
I'm kind of curious how many people 3D print in our community.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I
mean,
gotta imagine a lot.
there's a decent amount that we've seen.
Probably more than 5.
And honestly, I am really curious because we started doing 3D printed stuff with a lot of these aircraft. I'll be kind of curious once photos start coming out, how many people, what percentage of people are able to print stuff. It'd be really neat to see because, I mean, we can offer, 3D printed parts or not. If there's only a couple of people out there, like, no, I'm not sure if it's worth it. But
Well, I like what happened specifically with the P47 here is you could make that a foam board. It'd be like the profile and stuff. It wouldn't have the scale detail, but when you print those exhausts, when you put the landing gear covers on it, it adds a scale finish. It just basically takes it away from anything DIY. You would not know. You simply would not know.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful combination. Now with lightweight PLA and things like Verisure, it's a whole different world. And I'll go on history again. I was the one that was like, this is totally impractical. 3D printed planes will never happen. It's good for a gimmick, but they're going to be too fragile. I'm looking at a whole wall right here of
we crash lots of things.
Yeah.
We break lots of things.
and I'll say they're not as durable.
No, they're
but
not.
as far as beautiful, I mean, the shapes you can get out of those things and stuff is just incredible.
So far, they've been durable enough for us.
I mean, we still have
up to this point.
Right.
We've got some on the wall. We've got some out here. I think one's got a busted tail, but they've done it. And that lightweight PLA with that foaming agent, I think it actually helps the rigidity of it. And it gives it a little more
there's more glue
flex.
surface.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a real thin.
Yeah, it works out really well. So check out Eclipse and model. We can't say enough about those things. They look great. And the iterations from when we started with the Model D in the beginning to now, they thought of how to put the wings together, how they put the flaps together, the little pins, and it's awesome.
Eclipse and also they took our request seriously. They're designing a night version of it's not the Model V. What is it?
It's the
I'm forgetting it.
The Model something.
It's the big sailplane on the V-tail.
Yes, correct.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is exactly.
But they're putting channels in there for you to put LED lights in there. They made the night version, and we're going to hopefully have that out before Flight Fest. So people that want to print one and come to Flight Fest, because when we had the night radians, which unfortunately we have 2 night radians no longer being made, I think it's just the rise of night radian. Seeing those things in the air were just magical. Now people can print their own and build one.
Model S.
Model S.
The Model S. Yes, correct. Which is we're excited about it. It's gonna be nifty.
My 2 favorites so far are the Model S and then the Racer there. That Racer is just
It's so sick. It looks so cool with the black and the green.
I still want to triple size that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
We're coming up on an hour, friends.
Yeah, we're up on
that went
50
fast.
minutes.
It did.
So, I say today we'll let the Overstreet give the final words of wisdom.
Oh, Mr. Overstreet.
You know what I
now,
mean?
why do you do that to me?
Considering
Because he never gives any good words of wisdom.
Savage.
That is savage.
But it's true.
Well, I don't know if that's the case.
I'll be honest. Your words of encouragement and wisdom in private are next level compared to the podcast. So, but they're still good.
It's fair.
But the private words of wisdom you give are next level.
Yes.
So
Well, I appreciate it.
no, I appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
I think you paid him.
That's a very nice thing to say.
You're
friends usually say those
I
kinds of
basically
things.
told him I
You're
don't
never
like
going to
his,
get anything nice come out of my mouth towards you.
I told him I don't like his podcast words of wisdom.
Oh, yeah?
So I don't know how nice that was of me, but I like your person.
He just shined up something for you and gave it to you.
You know what? That's all right.
All right,
So,
Mr. Overstreet, final words of wisdom.
I got nothing. I'm old, got a lot of gray. I'm supposed to have a lot of
I
wisdom.
feel like there's
but,
something in there.
Yeah, rattling around. I don't know. Do we do flight wisdom, life,
Life,
Life
anything.
or flight.
Anything.
And it could be flight life.
Flight life.
You never know.
Life.
Anything you
okay.
like, really.
Well, man, this kind of puts me on the spot here.
Yes.
You're gonna have to give me more heads up than
That's
this.
fair.
You guys are killing me.
All right, I got one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
Josh
got one.
always.
I'm sorry. I'm
My
not
friend,
this.
you bailed
Bailed
me
me
out.
No. Honestly,
Your wingman's got you.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm going to go off the rails real quick because this is on my heart more than it's ever been, I think, in any previous years. Friends, flight is more than just an activity we do. It's something we do to connect with people. And I am seeing a world today where we need to connect, we need to love, we need to build relationships with one another. That's uncomfortable. It's not easy to do. I can promise you this. Coming up to somebody with a model airplane and flying with them is the easiest way to break down walls, break down barriers, make connections, have a laugh. All those things are needed today. So when you go out to fly, keep in mind that the person coming up to you is not an inconvenience when they ask, how far does it fly? How long does it fly? Can you buy one for under $500 or whatever? Love them, encourage them, get them in this hobby, and make a friend at the same time.
Truth.
Because we need that.
You heard it here.
There it is.
Words of wisdom, words to live by.
Well, thank you, Mr. Overstreet, for joining us.
Yeah.
Well, you're
Yes.
quite welcome.
Safe travels back
I'm
tomorrow as well.
sorry, no
Flight.
wisdom.
No,
Got tons of
There's
wisdom.
tons of wisdom. You can see the wisdom all around. You touch all the lives.
Oh,
Great,
yeah.
great here.
All right. Hey,
All right.
thanks, friends, so much for hanging out with us,
Yep.
and we'll catch you on Thursday.
See you next week.
This week.
This week. Oh, we're doing 2 this week.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Wow, 2.
Yes.
I just figured this was on Thursday.
No, today's Tuesday.
I just figured we were just doing it early.
Right.
Well, you may see this. You may
Two in a
not.
week.
We'll let you know.
Yeah, obviously.
Check out social media. Check out the channel.
Live in fear.
All right.
I love you guys.
See ya.